World Cup, if you want to say all of it aside from this game, you can. With a calf injury, we've seen her come off the bench. She came in for penalties against France, but this was her first start of the World Cup, her first 90-minute game. I believe she played 90 minutes. And for her, like, people need to understand as a player to come into a game, let alone a World Cup. Like, this is the biggest stage and probably her personal international career that she'll ever play in,
Mhm.
depending on what happens in the future. But for her to come in that first start and have a goal like that and put her team on her back and do it in front of her nation and her fans, and to score a goal the way she did, like, she received that ball in her own half, she's penetrating. It was so funny. The commentators like, Sam Kerr is going to need some help, and I'm like, does she really need
No.
help? Because if you watch Sam Kerr, you know that she can do it. I agree, some obvious, poor defending from England, but Sam Kerr picking up her head and just, shooting way over Earps and getting that goal the way she scored it. For me personally, I know there's been a lot of incredible goals at this Women's World Cup, but given context and given how much that goal probably got every single person watching off their couch in absolute disbelief. I had chills all over my
Mhm.
body.
Mhm.
The fact that it was in a semifinal, the fact that it was the equalizer, the fact that it was a goal of that, caliber, I think it was the goal of the tournament, in my opinion. And I made a video about that, and I'm getting so much hate because people,
Oh,
for some reason, don't. I don't know. A lot of people don't like Sam Kerr, apparently. I don't know if my video ended up on the wrong side of TikTok, but it's very unfortunate
yeah.
because she's an incredible footballer. I would say one of the best strikers in the world right now in the women's game. And
Agreed.
to do that, without having many touches in this World Cup, it takes an incredible player to do it.
Yeah.
So I just, hats off to Sam Kerr. Like I said, it sucks that England absolutely took the life out of them. Like,
Oh.
8 minutes later, but
Mhm.
you have to give credit, you know, to Sam for doing that. Yeah, she missed a couple of sitters in front of the net, and a lot of people are ripping her for that, but my goodness, like, this happens every day in football.
I'm like,
I
"Do you
mean,
want
we
do you want do you wanna try? Like, do
yeah,
you wanna step in and do
well,
it? Because
that's
it's
the
not that easy."
that's
Yeah.
the best part, like, the people who say that, haven't
Yeah.
would never be on the stage that she is. And also, we've seen some of the best players on both the men's and women's
Mhm.
side miss sitters,
Yeah.
and it happens. She did what she could. I think she did her job to the
Yeah.
fullest in the capacity that she could, given that this was her first start of the Women's World Cup, and I just am so impressed with her. And it's unfortunate that the Matildas weren't able to pull it out, but I think that for me personally, goal of the tournament, and just such respect for Sam Kerr.
Yeah, it was a moment. It was a moment, absolutely. And I remember, Caroline, in our last podcast, you sort of predicted that, like, Sam Kerr's gonna come on and she's gonna have a goal and she is gonna have her moment. And when Sam scored the goal, I immediately thought, I was like, Caroline, you are right. I was sitting there, I was like, we gotta talk about that in the next episode. Because it's true. But again, I think what you mentioned about context is so, so, so important. Context for her injury, her
Yeah.
mentality, where the Matildas are at. That's what I think a lot of people need to sort of try to understand when they're looking at these situations. And I think people are very quick to judge certain shots missed or opportunities missed. But it's like, no, Sam Kerr 110% kept her team in this
Yes.
for
Yes.
sure. And I made a video too, Carolina, and I made, my words, I named 4 MVPs of the game, and Sam Kerr was one of mine for Australia. And I also got a lot of hate on that in the
Stop.
comments of people being like, so I was like, I have to mention this, of people being like, oh no, like, her overall performance sucked. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't often get into these hate comments because I just let it be or I delete them. But I was like, no, I'm going to take the time to reply because I'm like, she was 100% the reason why Australia regained hope. That was an outstanding 2v1 goal against a team like England, who are fairly defensively strong. Sublime strike. She's coming off of an injury, and the amount of pressure that she's the face of this Australian team.
Yeah.
She's the face of this Women's World Cup. So for her to come on and do that, glorious. Just because they lost doesn't, and just because she missed that, point blank shot right in front of the net, that doesn't mean she's not important. She's not a tournament MVP. It wasn't a goal of the tournament. Like, no. So it gets me a little riled up. But she
Yeah.
100% deserves all the respect in the world, and I'm so excited to watch her in the upcoming WSL season because she really is a magician out there. Yeah.
I totally agree with you, and I don't know what's wrong with people. Anyone who's played a sport, it doesn't even have to be football. Anyone who's played a sport knows that when you're coming into a tournament like the World Cup and
Mm-hmm.
you haven't played the entire World Cup because of an injury, a
Yep.
calf injury, which like, hello, it's your
Mm-hmm.
leg. You need that in
Mm-hmm.
football. To do what she did is absolutely incredible.
Yep.
Again, to not have many touches in at this World Cup and to have your first start of the World Cup against England, the team that just won the Euros, the team that's
Mm-hmm.
now headed into the World Cup final, people who are disrespecting her and not giving her credit obviously don't know a single thing about football. It's
Exactly.
it's it's just not possible. Granted, she missed a couple of situations. Yes, should she have scored them? Yes, but there's also other players on the field.
Yep.
Other
Yep.
players who could have also got the job done. It's not just Sam Kerr.
Yep.
Sam Kerr did her job, and in my opinion, was one of the best players on the field. So
Yeah. Both
just
from
people,
both
yeah,
teams. Yep.
I agree. So people need to just kind of like calm down. They love to pile on.
Oh
People are
yeah.
like, yeah, she scored a great goal, but who won? Yeah, no one's discrediting England. No, you can give credit to a player and a moment without discrediting another team or another moment. Like you can absolutely do that. So it's
Yeah.
just unfortunate. I don't know what Sam Kerr's done to
Nothing.
receive all of this kind of negativity, but I hope she's holding her head up high because she did everything she could to help the Matildas get into that final.
Exactly. And now they're the best thing they can do is just to be really proud that they are at this point in the tournament for the first time in their history on home soil. This is such a special, special, special moment. Now they got to reset, refocus to take on Sweden to hopefully win bronze.
Yeah, that's true. I always forget about the third
Yep,
place
that would
match.
be on Saturday.
I always forget. I always forget. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for reminding me,
Yeah.
Julia.